Yes, we are in Shmuel Aleph, chapter 14, just starting a brand new chapter. It says, Vayhi Hayom, and it was on that day that Vayomer Jonathon ben Shaul el Hanar, Jonathon, the son of Shaul, said to the young man, Nosei Kilav, who was carrying his armaments, the vessels of war, he says weapons, fine. Now again, a Na'ar does not mean a child of 13. It could mean a person of any age, really. It could mean a person who is just subservient to you. That's what a Na'ar is, a boy. Okay, that's why it's interesting that when, I mean, to pick on the prejudiced South, when they would look at a black man who was one of their servants, and the guy was probably 50 years his senior. Yeah. The black guy was probably 50 years his senior, and he would say, "Boy, go get this for me." Yeah, it's always, okay. Yeah. It's always boy, and that was because he was subservient to this person. So, the same way in the Hebrew, Na'ar is not representative of an age; it rather is representative of position. So, Na'ar nosei kelev. So the young man, so the person who was carrying his weapons, he said to him, "L'cha v'nabra el matzav pelishtim." Let us go and pass over to the garrison of the Pelishtim. Asher me'evel halaz, that is over there, on the other side. Ul aviv lo higid. But Jonathon did not tell his dad what he was about to do. Okay. So Malbim says, V'yi b'hayom, b'yomahu. On that day, shiatza matzah Pelishtim el Eva Michmash Mizeh, the day that the Pelishtim, the garrison of the Pelishtim set up themselves in Michmash. So he says to his the arms bearer, "Let's go and pass over." He didn't have intent to yet fight with them. He just wanted to pass over to the other side. Matzah Pelishtim, that would be in to the garrison of the Pelishtim. Ki Michmash haya b'tzfon Geva, because Michmash was to the north of Geva. V'Shaul v'Yonatan amdu b'tzad darom. Shaul and Jonathon were on the south of Geva. V'ratzi Jonathon la'avor midromo shel Geva. So Jonathon wanted to pass over from the south of Geva to the El Sad Tzfono, to the north side. Shisham Yamod Neged, because from that side he was able to see the garrison of the Pelishtim, V'zekatuv, and that's why it's written to the garrison of the Pelishtim that is on that side, the other side. Therefore, so Malbim's put in the word therefore. V'lachein, and therefore la'aviv lo hikid, he didn't tell his father. K'lo yadatu adayin because it was on his mind, it still was not on his mind as an act of strength which would be woken up later. Okay, so at this point he's saying, let's just go over, we'll see what's happening, we'll see who these people are, and we'll go back to be able to report to my dad. And that was his intent. He didn't have intent to wage battle against these people. V'shal Yoshev, so now in Pasuk Beit, V'shal Yoshev b'Kseh Giva. Shal was in the, as you said, living, staying fine, in the outskirts of Giva, Tachat HaRimon, under the pomegranate tree, Asher b'Migron, that was in Migron, V'Am Asher Imo, and the nation that was with him, Kishesh Miod Ish, was like around 600 men. Okay, so what would I'll ask you, instead of me droning on, what would be the question you should ask on this pasuk? Again, Shaul was sitting in the outskirts of Geva under the pomegranate tree that was in Migron, and the nation that was with him was around 600 men.
Is pomegranate tree,
what?
Is the pomegranate tree alluding to something specific?
Okay, so why do we have to hear about a pomegranate tree? The simple thing is it referring to something specific. What else?
Wait a minute, why does this say? It says, B No, wait. What's,
Sorry?
Harimon, yeah, the pomegranate tree. The
Right.
tree.
Why
Tree
the tree?
specific,
Which tree
Not
specifically?
just a pomegranate
Correct.
tree.
Even better. Yeah. Anything else?
600.
Well, we knew that
there
there was.
That was the run.
Right. We knew that number. Right. Good. Anything else?
Did he start out in Giva? Is that where he left off? Is that where he was farming and stuff? Or is this a different place?
Okay. Also, I'm not sure.
So what is in Migron? What is the relationship of Migron to Gave?
To where?
The Migron is
To give a.
to Giba.
Right.
What was
Okay.
is in the outskirts of
Right.
Giba.
So he's not in the. He's not at the. He's not.
It's
Right.
a
Under,
place
that
called
was in Migron. Right.
for whatever reason.
Right. Okay. All those different. Good. Now let's see. Not everything will be answered, but as long as you get the some of the questions. Okay. So the Malbim says, Shal Yoshev Baal Be'ir Madua Hutzrach Avor. So Shaul was staying there. That's coming to explain why Jonathon had to say, let's go over to the other side. Kishal Yosef Biksei Deromi, because Shaul was staying in the south side of Geva, which was to the side of Givon, which was not to the side of Michmash. So that's your answer. Okay? And this is the reason that a small amount of the nation was with him. Gamata, that was there now, was only around 600 men. K'moshahaya bevo legeva, like when they came to Geva. V'hidyare mehatrot lifnei machane plishtim imanashem hamatim, and it would have been. It would have caused fear before it would have caused some sort of trepidation, I guess, before the camp of Philistine, if there was such a small amount of men. So that's why they were coming. That's why I have to say around that number. Okay, fine. But we don't find out about why he's under, or what the point of. At least he doesn't say it. About the point of the pomegranate tree. So that one you have to leave in the, somebody else says it, I don't see anybody really quick, but yeah, you'd have that question. You could still ask why the pomegranate tree. By the way, the reason you need to know that the questions is someday when you're reading this, you may find somebody who says that. You say, oh, good, I had that question. The worst thing to say, if nobody asks, if I don't see it on the page, it must be it's a foolish question. Don't ever say that. The questions are foolish. The question's a real question. It's just that sometimes it wasn't necessary for the understanding of the quick understanding of the story, so therefore fine. But when you see somebody speaking about it, you can you can at least remember, oh, I had that problem, and now somebody's answered that problem. That's all.
It was probably mentioned because there was no Rand McNally at the time.
The map company?
Yes.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
To get it fixed on where you're thinking about.
Okay, but you have to know where the pomegranate tree is.
Yes.
Okay, it's
On the
like a
outs-
singular
on the outskirts
pomegranate
of
tree.
Gibeah.
Right. Okay. So Achia ben Achituv. So this Achia, the son of Achituv, Achi Ikabod, who was the brother of Ikabod, and who was the son of Pinchas, Ben Eli Kohen, the son of Pinchas, who was the son of Eli the Kohen, Hashem B'Shilo, of the Kohen of Hashem in Shiloh, Nosi Ephod, who was the one who was carrying the ephod. Va'am lo yada, and the nation did not know ki halach Yehonatan, that the nation did not know that Yehonatan went. So again, you have to run 2 and 3 together, really. Let's look at that again. 2 and 3. So it says Shaul was staying in the outskirts of Giva, under the Rimon, under the pomegranate tree. That was in Migron. And the nation that was with him was 600 men. And Achia ben Achitavo, and Achia, the son of Achitova, the brother of Ikavo, the son of Bichos, son of Eli, the Kohen of Hashem in Shiloh, who carried the ephod. So it's a big introduction to Eli, really. And the nation, and so now the nation didn't know that Jonathon went. So again, what would be the question? Yeah?
Isn't Eli dead?
Yeah, sure he's dead. Long time ago. So is Pinchas.
But so who's this talking about? Is this talking about Ahijah?
Who?
Sorry.
Achia? Look at the Hebrew.
Right.
Okay. Don't look. If you give the Hebrew and English, I'm not going to know who you're talking about.
Achia,
Okay.
son of. So this is just talking about Achia.
It's giving you the lineage. Achia, the son of Achitov. Who was Achitov? He was the brother of Ikavod. Who was he? Ikavod was the son of Pinchas, the grandson of Eli the Kohen, who used to wear the ephod.
So he's like a cousin, like a nephew.
He's
great-nephew?
the brother.
It was just kind of giving us you remember you read about this? It's telling us. You remember that story? This is what I'm
Right.
telling you now. We're bringing you up to date here.
Right. We're just telling you who it is.
So,
to remind you who Achia ben Achitov. And again, he was the brother of the Ikavod, who was the son of Pinchas, the grandson of Eli. And by the way, what does that make? So that would make Achia the great uncle, right?
Great nephew of Eli. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And when this was being transcribed for the first time, it was being written down, and it would make sense that he was making all these connections. He's giving the story over.
Okay.
You know.
So now again, what would the questions be here?
Yeah.
who is this? Why are they mentioning him?
Because he's wearing the ephod.
But he's
Is he carrying? Well, that's the question. Is he wearing the ephod?
because Eli's family was deposed from being the Kohen Gadol.
Correct. So Eli's calling.
But Achia has it.
So Achia has, you want to say?
Yeah. That's what it says. Is that
Well, it said that Eli, the Kohen of Hashem at Shiloh, who wore the ephod, although these comments are kind of weird here, but I'm guessing that's talking about Eli.
no? Achia was the Kohen Gadol at the time. The great nephew of Eli.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead.
It's just, other than the lineage, I mean, the whole verse is boiled down to the last phrase that people did not know that Jonathon had gone. That's what the whole verse is.
Right. Well, that's what's coming to.
Well,
But again, why are we hearing about Achia ben Achitov at this point? Why do we have to hear about him?
It's going to get into something about
Okay.
him. Yeah.
I'm sorry, he was a great grandson of Eli. So
Great
grandson.
Okay.
Great
Okay.
grandson.
So now let's see. So it says, Malbim says, Achia shav el Siporo. So it returns to the story. Shayonatan lo yadato az where is it? Lo yadato az el shepol v'machane pelishtim. Because again, it was not in return to the story that Jonathon, that it was on his mind to fall upon the camp of Pelishtim. One, because on one hand he didn't tell his father what his idea was, and he wouldn't have done anything like that on his own without asking. And two, Shahaya Sham Orim V'Tumim Imahem Haya Shoal Bashem. And number two is that the Orim V'Tumim was with them. And he should have asked Hashem, Ki Achia ben Echitov, ben Pinchas, ben Eli, Shehaya Eli Kohen Gadol B'Shilo, Achia Haya Nose Ephod. Oh, so he's agreeing with you. Achia, the son of Achitov, who was his son, who was the brother of Ikavod, the son of Pinchas, the son of Eli, the Kohen of Hashem in Shiloh, who carried the ephod. So who's that going to? Is it going to Eli or is it going to Achia? So we all would assume it's going to Eli. Maya correctly said it's going to Achia. So you agree with the Malbim, and he says he had the Orim V'Tumim that was with him, and he should have asked. And so why didn't he ask Hashem if I should attack these people or not, right? In other words, you didn't ask your father. Okay. You didn't ask Achia. He's right there. Go and ask. But because he didn't have in mind, right? He didn't have in mind to do it. And number three, Shagam ha'am lo yadak yalach Yonatan. And third thing, the nation didn't know. V'chol zeraya, and all this is a proof. Shloya machshvato az la'asot noraot. And it was all this is proof that he didn't have in mind to do these awesome acts. Shaya Cain, She'im Cain, because if so, Hayamiya'ed et ha'am liyot nechunim acharav. He would have appointed the nation to be ready to go after him. In other words, he's going totally on his own. He's walking into the enemy camp. Well, he's not walking into the camp. He's going to see what's going on. He's a spy mission, if you will. So he doesn't tell anybody, but he should have told his father. He should have asked Echia. He should have the people, get ready. Go ahead.
What about the curse on Eli's family? Were they deposed from being Kohen Gadol's?
Eli was, but this
Wasn't it switched over to the...
Not yet. It wouldn't be switched over for 200, 300 years.
Oh.
Takes a while. God has time.
Oh.
See, unlike me, God has a lot of time.
Right.
Me and you, we're very limited. We have 120 years.
Right,
120 years doesn't accomplish anything. So we want to do something in our life. We say, you're out, okay? God says, because of what you did, I'm going to because of what your kids did, I'm going to rid you of that thing. But we have to replace you first. We have to set everything up. So God has time for that. So that doesn't happen for approximately 300 years. That the next one, the next family takes over. So at this point, Eli's family is still in charge.
I thought it was in effect because it seemed almost immediate relative to time passing in the book that his two children died from the.
But the point is, they had children.
They had right.
Pinchas had Ikavod and Echia.
Right. I just that's why the death of him.
Right.
They're cut off.
All right. They were killed, but there's still family there, so they took over. Yeah. What else? Okay, that's it. Okay. Yeah. So it says. Ubein ha'ma'abrot. So now we go a little further. Ubein ha'ma'abrot, between the sides, shibikesh of the Jordan, right? Between the sides. Okay. Shibikesh Jonathon lavor et matzav al matzav plishtim. That Jonathon wanted or desired to cross to the garrison of the plishtim. Shein hasela me'ever mizeh. There was a rocky crag from this side, and also a rocky crag from this other side. Apparently they gave names to these mountainous regions, and they named one Botzates, and the other one was Sene.
Do those mean anything, or they just?
Everything means something. The question is, what does it mean? But everything means something. But, okay, and anything else? Any other questions? No? Okay, so let's see. So Malbim says, so now it's telling us that when it came to the north of Giva, Negeb Matzav Plishtim, which was again facing, or if you will, the garrison of the Plishtim, Sha'az hitnoses bo ruach Hashem la'avor l'chom b'shem Hashem. Then Hashem, as it were, he was infused with the spirit of Hashem to cross over and to fight in the name of Hashem, Zahiyah, and that was when he went between the how does he call that? I keep forgetting the names of this. The sides. He went to. It's not really sides, but okay. Ma'abrot is a different term, but it's the sides that that Jonathon wanted to cross over to the garrison of the Plishtim, la'akol and to kill them there. Hayesham shnei salaim gevoim mafsikim b'neihem. There were two rocky cliffs, high rocky cliffs that were separating between them. By gevoim ma'od ad shenikvu, and so they were very tall until they nikvu. Where is it? That they even were named, they were given names. So that's why they were given names, because they were so tall. Okay, and then but nobody wants to say. Shana Sela, Kipolik. Yeah, nobody wants to say why they're called the names. Oh, wait. Yeah, the Radak says like this. That was the names, and we don't know. We don't know why that's the names. But the name was, okay, that's interesting. He said, well, we don't know. Okay.
So we remember the names, but not the translations.
Well, no, the names would be bursting out or rock, or thorns, I should say. Snez the snez of bush. Snez of bush. So, and both states is bursting. So you would call it bursting because it's coming out. I mean, we know the names, but we don't know why these particular rocky crags got, besides they're tall, got the names. That's what the Radak is saying.
Oh, and the history behind the name.
Right, that we're not sure about. Okay, but it's always fun when you see some. By the way, that's how you know that the Torah is true. By the way, it's why you know the Torah is true. Because the rabbis weren't into making up all these midrashim when they didn't have to. They said their names, we don't know. Weitzer Glom was life.
It's a landmark. There's no by that.
There wasn't Rim McNally. There wasn't Rim McNally. So we're giving you the names, and I don't have to know why it's called the Potawatomi Zoo. It's called the Potawatomi. Go ahead, take a ride to the Potawatomi Zoo. What do I care why it's called Potawatomi? Okay, and so, or what's this, the St. Joe River, or whatever it's called here, whatever it's called. St. Joe. What about it? Why? What is St. Joe? Did he go on the road? Did he fly on it? I don't know what he did.
But there's other places in the United States, maybe the mountains that have
Blue Hills. If you go to Boston, it's called the Blue Hills. Why is it the Blue Hills? I have no idea, but it's the Blue Hills.
Yeah. Somebody knows. Somebody knows.
Right, somebody knows. I don't know. So,
if
but
you're the explorer and you discover it, you get to name it.
Right.
Like in chemistry or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's like it's interesting that the Radak would say, we don't know. We don't know. Leave me alone. In other words, he heard the question, but by the way, that's what it means. I hear the question. It must be some Kabbalistic reason? No, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. Draw whatever conclusions you want, and let's go weiter. Okay. So it's very cute when they come across with something like that. Because it's, like I said, it's the ultimate true honesty of the rabbis. We don't always have to know everything. It's a good question. No argument.
So in other words, they're not making stuff up. When they give us stuff,
Right.
they're basing it on something that's known.
Correct.
When they don't know, it's a...
Correct.
Going back to the pomegranate tree, maybe it's like the Talmud Devorah. Maybe judgments took place there. Or meeting place.
Right. You could say that. And I was thinking about that, but I have no proof for it. So
But you just assume that these names have, like
Correct.
Mayor was saying,
At some
people,
point.
people recognize that point.
Right.
Because that particular tree had carved into it. Yitzchak was here.
Right.
Or like a good example would be like 3 oaks. The oak trees probably aren't there anymore, but that's how people found it at one time.
Right. Like I said, it's just interesting because everybody's saying that's all it is, just names. Fine. So Shein ha'echad. So he says we're on hey. So Shein ha'echad matzuk mitzafon mimul michmash. So one of these cliffs, or one of these rocky, literally teeth. The first tooth, if you will. But the first crag was situated to the north, opposite Michmash, and ve'echa minegev mul gava. And the second one was situated north. The second one was situated to the south, opposite Geva.
So they're facing each other?
Yeah, that's the point. You can walk across them.
Right. It's like, but they're going underneath. No.
Yeah, no, they're on top.
Okay.
They're on top. And it's interesting in the English, it doesn't say south. It says the first one it translates properly. It says the north. The one was from the north, and it was opposite Michmash. It was sticking out, but the and one was And then it says the other one opposite Geva. So, but they don't say from the south opposite. It's interesting. Why? What?
Article does.
Okay, but this it's
yeah.
interesting. Why this one skipped it? Why this one skipped a word? I'm not sure why. You'd have to ask
What did they skip?
south. This one skips south. If you look at hey, right? So it says Echad Hashem Echad mitzok mitzafon from the north, Mula Michmash, ve'Echad minegev. The other from the south, opposite Gava.
What's the word for south?
Negev.
Oh, Negev. Oh.
Negev.
Ah, okay.
Which is not how we learned it
South,
in
yeah.
Ivrit. Ivrit uses a different word. Darom?
Rome is also.
Yeah.
Negev would be to the
I was thinking
desert.
From the wilderness, yeah.
I was
No,
thinking,
that's Midbar.
Midbar,
Negev is the desert,
the desert.
but it's also.
I was thinking
I'm pretty sure it's also south.
What's the word for opposite? Neged?
Neged. I mean, Neged is opposite.
Did somebody translate looked at it and didn't get the word right?
They say south, right?
They're saying article is south.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Negev.
Yeah, but
the
if
other
it
one
was
was
spelled with a dalet instead of a...
No, it's not a misprint.
I know, I'm saying maybe did somebody look at it and
No, they just
not
kept
read the word correctly?
no, because they said from the north, and they translate this opposite.
Negev is so close to Neged.
No, but they're saying north, and opposite
Sure,
north
of course
is
it would
south.
Be. It would be, yeah.
Right, so that they don't have to say south.
It's
It's just they were just trying to explain it, I guess, in English. I'm not sure. So the Malbim says, this was the rocky crag that stood near near Geva. Vaya Mutzak Mitzad Safon, and that was sticking out, protruding from the side of the north. Shahaya Sham Chalak V'Shaveh, which was smooth and equal. She'efshal Redet Mimenu, and it was impossible to go down from it. V'Shein She'amad Eitzel Michmash, and the rock that was standing near Michmash, Haya Matzuk Mitzad Ramo, which was protruding from the southern side. Shenochach Geva, opposite Geva. She'efshal Alot Alav, it was possible to go down upon it. Ad shechutz mima shahaya rak shnayim anashim neged, till from outside from what they were, there were two men. Neged malchane kaveda, which was opposite the major camp. At hayakash shigiu el machane gamitzad makom. So it was also hard to reach the camp on the second side. So the point is that where they are, it's not going to be easy to penetrate into the camp, or for the camp to penetrate to them. Either way. So it says, Vav, Vayomer Jonathon. So Jonathon said, Elana Arnosikelav to the person who was his arm bearer, Lechav and Avral, let us go and let us cross over, El Masav Ha'arelim Ha'ileh, to the garrison of these uncircumcised people. Ulayas Hashem Lanu, perhaps Hashem will act on our behalf. Kien Lashem Matzor, because for Hashem there's no limitation. Lo Shia Barav or Bahama, to save either with a lot of people or with a few people. In other words, we have God on our side. Okay? Now, what's the question you could ask on that?
I have a question before that.
Go ahead.
Why has up in the previous verses, whatever, it says Jonathon. Here it's Jehonatan. I always thought the name was Jehonatan. Why is it he's leaving out the hay in previous verses?
Great question. Next. What other question?
Are they relying on a miracle?
Why are they relying upon a miracle?
Are they? It seems like they're relying upon a miracle. They're relying upon God's help.
Because he's saying why? Because it says that Hashem, there's no limitation to Hashem to save with few and many.
Right. It seems like he's relying upon a miracle.
Okay. Well, he is, not they. He's talking to the arms bearer.
Oh.
The arms bearer really has nothing to say, per se. But, I mean, he can try to talk him out of it, I guess. But ultimately, he has to follow his master.
Right.
But, okay, rely upon miracles. What else? The verse. What else is the problem with the verse?
They're on top of him?
No. Why does he call them uncircumcised? Why does he use a derogatory term? Is he just being derogatory about it? Why does he say Plishtim? Let's go down to the garrison. All the way through, we've been saying Matzah Plishtim, Matzah Plishtim, Matzah Plishtim. So why say Matzah Harelim Ha'elah?
So he's saying we're gonna depend upon Hashem and against those who don't believe in Hashem.
So you want to say it's derogatory?
They're uncircumcised, so therefore they don't believe in Hashem. So we have
no,
Hashem on our side.
non-Jews are not obligated to be circumcised. A non-Jew is not obligated to be circumcised.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, but that wouldn't be fair. In other words, I'm saying if a non-Jew is not obligated to become circumcised, it's not a matter of my belief in God. In other words, I can believe in God, but I'm not obligated to. Why would I be circumcised myself?
Oh, but back in those days, they were presumably strictly speaking.
Idolaters. Idolaters.
Yeah.
No, but again, even if I'm a Ben Noach, even if I accept, in other words, I'm an idolater, but I accept that there's a God. Okay, I have no problem with God, but
you wouldn't be an idolater then.
No, they have idolatry doesn't mean I don't believe in God.
Pagan.
I believe in pagan gods. Fine,
but
even the pagan gods, they could always say, like the Greek guys, they have one top god. We have a top god. We understand he's a top god, but it's at the same time our God. We need a relationship with our God. So Baal, whoever it's going to be, is going to be who we relate with, and that Baal can take it to the chief god. No problem. That's idolatry.
Even though we have our own,
we have our own deities.
Top god,
right? That
top god can still be subservient to the God. Hashem.
Yeah, no problem. So now, with that said, I don't have. That's what I'm saying. It's not so easy to throw idolatry away. It's but with that said, even if they were totally B'nai Noach, they wouldn't have to become circumcised. So the question is, why do you pick on these poor guys? They didn't do anything wrong. Right? They're not obligated to come. If they're obligated to come circumcised and you want to fight against them, so you say, these uncircumcised, these beep, that would be the beep of those days.
Yeah.
But why are you picking on them? Okay? That's what I'm saying. You have to... It's interesting that he's saying these uncircumcised people like that, they're doing something wrong. They didn't do anything wrong. They weren't supposed to circumcise themselves. It's only our commandment to circumcise ourselves, to have our kids circumcised. And ultimately to circumcise ourselves if our parents didn't get the job done. So he says, where is that? That was Vav. Right. So he says, Vayomer v'chol zeh nacha alav. So with all this, even though that they had to really push themselves against the camp, as we learned about the rocky crags and how it was situated, everything's smooth, it's hard to climb down with all this. Nacha alav ruach gevora me'ad Hashem. So the power of strength came down from Hashem. Ad shitorer lipol b'machane, until it woken him to go down the camp. Vayomer lenaro. So that's what he says to his servant. Let's go down to the garrison of these uncircumcised people. Let's go down to them, really go down to them. Even though that would be impossible to defeat them in a normal warfare, because it's two against a myriad of people. And perhaps, as you were saying, perhaps Hashem will make a miracle. Because it is not, Hashem is not withheld by anything. Because if you go by normal methods of fighting, so then the one who is stronger is going to overtake the one who's not as strong. Yes? That's normal fighting. If I'm stronger, I'm going to defeat you. The only time that's not going to happen, by the way, is I can be Mr. Muscle. I can be Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was good, and I can get a good wrestler, and a wrestler who knows how to use leverage will topple Mr. Universe. Okay, that's something that we don't think about, but really size doesn't matter. It's more knowing leverage points.
Like you talking, what do you call it, like jiu-jitsu, whatever.
It's really knowing how to use leverage and knowing how to use one's force against themselves. that will cause a defeat.
Although,
Although it doesn't help to have, if I have fighting under the giant, it doesn't hurt that he doesn't fall on top of me. Yeah, go ahead.
and Stalin said, quantity has a quality all its own.
There you go, okay? But the point is, normally, in a normal situation, the stronger will beat the weaker. Okay? So he says, but when you have Hashem on your side, you would say, rely upon a miracle. He is. You say, maybe Hashem will give a miracle. And by why is he saying this, by the way? Because Hashem put it into him to give them this Ruach HaKavara. Remember, Hashem, originally he wanted to go and see. Let's see what's going on. And Hashem, suddenly Hashem gives him this bravado that he can go in. Okay. So once Hashem puts it in his mind, you know there's going to be a miracle here. That's what it's setting you up for. She'im lo kein yatzor koach amid ba'al be'ad koach ha'poel v'nagid alav. So if not, so if he wouldn't restrain the power of, he's not going to restrain the power. L'chein lefi godol koach amid ba'el tzarech sheyigadel b'yeter se'eg koach ha'poel. And say, fine, lo kein isla Hashem, but it's not the way near Hashem. In other words, we don't go by normal situations. Because nothing can stop God from doing what he wants to do. So that it would be necessary to have the great strength versus strength that's going to be hold. And that's why he says there's nobody that can restrain God. So if there's nothing that can hold God back, so if that's the case, then there's no difference between saving with a lot of people or with a few people. Yeah.
So the odds were so against them that even if they had...
Well, there's two against...
No, the odds were against the Jews. That even if they had the
No,
army
no,
of Jews,
the odds were against... Yes, certainly that.
Right, so I
But
think it'd be a miracle.
that certainly would be a miracle, but also this is a miracle. If I have two against...
Right, that's the...
Right, that's the ultimate miracle.
So,
But
his logic is
Even
it's
if
so
they had
against
all-
us, all of us, that why not just two of us?
right,
Okay.
right. So it doesn't really matter. Right, that's his point. Okay. So it says, Jonathon. So you. Wait, I skipped one. Sorry. So Zion. V'yom alone nosi kelev. So his nosi kelev, his arm. Or say, I say, kol hashib b'vecha. Do whatever's in your heart. Whatever you want. Tei lecha. V'hineni imcha b'vecha. And do what you want. And turn to you. Behold, I'm prepared to do whatever's in your heart. Whereas, I'm with you, man. You want to go down, you want to commit suicide, I got you. Got you back. Okay?
Yeah, we can do this.
No, he didn't say we can do this. He said, it's in your heart. He didn't say we can do this. I'm not sure he's a happy camper about it, but you want to commit suicide, I'm right next to you. Okay. People used to say, my father told me, when people say, I'm behind you, I'm behind you, he would always say, ask how far. Okay, so Malbim says, "V'yom alone nosekelav." His nosekelav said to him, "Haven ki efshar shitoreh b'lepuula kazot." So he said, "Understand that it's impossible." He understood that it's impossible to awaken such a thing so far from nature. Sheyashlich nafsho neged b'makom hashikana galoya v'yadua, to throw his, it was going against logic. In other words, to cast one's soul into a situation which is certain danger. In lo b'shekoach elokai magia oto, if not for the strength of God reaching him, u'ma'oret libo bal yifachem, and reaching his heart and awakening his heart, so there's no fear. You understand? So apparently the Nosei Kelev, being with Jonathon, being with I'm guessing he's Jewish himself, but he sees what's going on, and he says this is not a normal situation. So if it's such, again, you have two people against troops that are as wise as much as a sea. It's not normal to think I can defeat everybody. So if it's happening, it must be that God inspired him. Oh, if God inspired him, so fine. So he says, if that's the case, do what you want in your heart. Gedol Ke'ela, because the heart is what sees Hashem in all of these matters. V'isha ruach yachol d'smoch al chazayon, and a person of spirit can rely upon the vision of his heart with this. V'afagav dehu lo chazam mazlei chazam, even though he doesn't see it, his mazal, his constellation, does see it. Turn to this, he says, or the red man aside, that you put yourself to go down from this rock to between the sides. Vani and I'm with you. Hagam shalibi eno ra'ed kolamama. Even though I don't see anything, I don't know where you're getting all this stuff from. I'm going to be like you. I'm going to be like your heart. I'm going to trust in you implicitly, even to the point of death. Okay? So, Jonathon said, so Jonathon said to him, behold, we are crossing the men, and we will reveal themselves to us. Oh, he's going to get to, okay, so you ready for this? I'm going to just read a couple of lines for you so you know what's going on. So we're going to reveal ourselves to us. If they will say to us, Domu ad haginu aleichem, if they're going to say to them, wait until we reach you, madum taktenu, and we shall stand in our place, and we will not go up to them. Okay? But if they say, Alu aleinu, come up to us, if they say come up to us, then ve'alinu, we will go up. Why? Because Hashem gave them to our hands, and this is a sign to us. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? You understand? Everybody understands? If they say, stay where you are, and we're going to come to you, we're going to meet you, let's get out of here, we lost. If they say, come fight with us, come on, big boys, then we got them. That's just some sign. Yep.
So I thought the Philistines were below them.
Say again?
I thought they were above them.
They're going to come down.
Right, but it says come up to us. The Philistines, if they say come up to us.
I mean, come.
Figurative. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Come here, big boy.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. But wait.
Come up wherever you are. Right. You want to come on. No, come up against me. I'll do. Come up against me. Okay.
So I'm trying to formulate the question. When they say, if they're going to say wait right there and we're going to fight you, then we'll leave.
Right. No, we have to get out of here. We're going to lose.
Right. But so why did he say that we'll stay here and wait for them?
No.
That's just
say again.
It says
we'll stay here, but we'll leave. In other words, we're not going to win.
Not actually stay here.
Right. We're going to lose. Right. So he says, Vayomer, okay, so now this is what the Malbim says. Vayomer, Kavad Pirusham Arim, Ki Be'emer and Nishion Hazeh, Laya Muchrach, Muchuya, Mipa'ad Asmo. That really, he says, in truth, this test was not a forced thing, as it were. Kiyem Va'ad Hashgacha, it was looking more from the corner of godly supervision, into the big bump. It was going to attach itself to them. And this test would be in the matter because maybe the Plishtim wouldn't say this matter of alu alinu, we will come up against us. And maybe they wouldn't have said damu al shigiu aleichem. They also may not have said stay there until we reach you. They could have easily said come here, or kavru eleinu, or come closer to us, or lechu v'nilchama, or come and we'll fight you. Okay, you could have said any of those choice of words. You want them to say, I gave you a script, follow the script. They don't know the script. Okay? Compared to what they could have said, what they couldn't say. Rak yatzuli kratam, just go out to meet them. L'chein hayata habachina she'im hem idabru ka'otam edavarim v'amil atzmam she'amar Jonathon. So therefore, if the test would be that if they would say like the words that and the phrase that Jonathon ein zeh ki im va'adash gacha elokit. That is only from Hashem's direction. Sheyasim hadavarim b'fihem, that He put those words into their mouths. Ruach Hashem notzat sabam, and so therefore the Spirit of Hashem is bursting in them. Lahodiyam, and Asher yasim, to tell us what will be done. Vayazem idroket Ruach HaKodesh, and that is the level of Ruach HaKodesh, of divine spirit. L'chein bachad bezeh, that's why he chose in this. K'moshen Emra begidon, like it says in Gidon, Shemata ma'yidabru v'yachakach techzakna yedechem. You will hear thus, and when they speak, and then afterwards they strengthen your hands. So you understand? So he's giving a test. He said, Rabban Shalom, I need to know if you're with me or against me. Am I doing right? Am I doing wrong? Okay? So if they say this text, not anything else. If they say anything else, we have to get out of there too, basically. But if they say these words, this proves that you're coming to us, and not only you're coming with us, by the way, we want to know if we're going to win or lose. It's not enough just to know you're with us, or you're setting this thing up, or it's a chess game. I want to know if we're going to win or lose. So if they say, stay there until we come to meet you, then we know we're done. We're not going to do anything. On the other hand, if they say, come up and to fight us, we know we got them. We'll stop there.
Give us a sign.
Give it, right.